Hello, my fellow Raiders, Doomers, Crusaders, Mutts, and Fibers. It is I, Nathan Smith-Finley, back again with another cosplay video, an Indiana Jones cosplay video with a special guest, my good buddy Aaron Niotta.
Hey!
Aaron here is a fellow member of the Indiana Jones cosplay group, and we decided to get together today to do some gear shots. And also, I wanted to break down his gear because he's got some fabulous Indiana Jones gear.
Most of it courtesy of Morgan.
Mr. Morgan Law. So, what are you rocking here?
Well, let's start from the top and work our way down. This is my beautiful Last Crusade screen cap by Brian Lalonde. Let's see inside, nice little design right there in there. And I asked for Beaver, and I asked him to do something from like the tank chase, because I love that scene in the film. So we went with a tank chase, Last Crusade. And working our way down. This shirt I got from Mr. Morgan Law. Alright, and then what was this time?
It's a What Price Glory.
What Price Glory shirt. And speaking of What Price Glory, same thing with the leather strap and my canvas bag. Also What Price Glory. For the purposes of this video, I am wearing Nathan's Young Indie Whip.
Made by Torrance Fisher of Sword Guy Builds.
And then I have this lovely holster that I also just purchased from Mr. Morgan Law. Which you said was
an eBay find holster from Trent. He had discovered some guy on eBay who was just making Raiders holsters, made like 4 or 5 of them, and then vanished off the face of the earth.
Well, I now have one of those, and I'm pretty sure that I think Trent just sold one of the ones he had.
Yeah, sold another one.
And do you have the other one?
Yes, I have one of them.
He has the other one. All right, and then inside that, I have this wonderful replica that was made by, you said you knew the...
I knew the maker, but I could never remember his name.
I'm terrible with names, and you're going to see that as this video progresses. And it's going to be very embarrassing for me, and I know most of the other members of the group are going to be like, come on, man.
He's a very, the replica resin Webley that he carries is a very well-known maker. Most Raiders in our community carry his Smith & Wesson model, which Morgan dubbed as the Smith & Resin, which I think is very hilarious.
I like that.
So, belts, you've got...
For belts, essentially just ones that I have got myself online. This leather one, the makeshift one that's holding on the holster and the whip, is just a leather one that looks pretty close to what I was looking for, and it was in my collection already. And then below that I have the regular canvas belt.
Nice.
And then for when it comes to shoes, I don't know how far down we are.
I can get an insert shot later of the boots.
For shoes, these are my Thursday boots that I bought from Morgan Law. I'm just gonna drop a little point for every time you can catch Morgan's name in this video.
I should have done that for every time I mentioned Trent in one of my videos.
Do you get a lot of your gear from Trent?
Almost everything you see on me was from Trent. This was from Trent. This was from Trent. This was from Morgan and Trent. This I bought myself. I think it was either Trent or Morgan turned me on to beautiful Wested Adventure boots.
They're down there.
The brown tub of Picards that was used on this jacket was from Trent, which was in my Operation 8th video. But yeah, about a good 90% of what I've got on is from Trent.
Nice. And then I feel like the same thing, but for Morgan for mine.
And then your jacket,
also from Morgan,
is a Wested Raiders Legacy.
Beautiful. It
Yeah.
is a beautiful jacket. I love this jacket. It is so comfortable, and I have such good movement in it, and like it's just one of my favorites.
It's just a very nice lamb too.
It is, and it's like this out of all my gear is probably the one I wear the most out in the world.
Nice.
And with the weather change recently, I've been wearing this a lot more, and I'm like, yes. I actually had I did an escape room with my wife, my best friend, his wife, like a couple weekends ago, and I wore this, and going into the escape room, the guy's like, I like that jacket. What's that from? And I go, it's an Indiana Jones jacket. And he was like, I knew it. Let's bleep me out. Like, oh, look at that. I work with children. This is when I get to say my bad words. But yeah, no, it hangs so well, and I think it works because both Morgan and I are very broad-shouldered gentlemen, short, broad-shouldered gentlemen. So it's actually kind of tough to find a jacket that's built in my dimensions. To be honest, this one's a little long on the cuffs. The cuffs are a little bit taken in. But
a lot of us do that.
yeah, I just have short arms.
I had to do that with my temple jacket. I had to roll in the sleeves because when I wear my temple jacket, the sleeve actually comes down to about here. So I have to do what Kirk Brockman refers to as sort of like the arm cock.
Oh, the Henry Cavill.
Yeah, gotta do that, or else
See Harrison do that in the next movie. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be pretty funny.
That would be hilarious. But yeah, I gotta do an arm cock every time that those sleeves
But you
start to
feel
sink.
cool doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's fine.
Because you always feel cool when you're wearing an Indiana Jones jacket.
100%.
So, is there anything else that you've got on you that you want to share in the terms of?
No, that's pretty much my gear I have on me right now. I have an assortment of other like props and stuff that I was going to bring with me, but they're all packed away because we just had I have a display case, but now it's all Christmassy right now.
Oh, nice.
Otherwise, I would have brought my Grail Temple tablet. That I was like, I know you've seen
Yes,
it, right?
I've seen the Grail tablet.
Beautiful gift from my brother. And I have a couple of things here and there. I definitely want to get that Grail that you have is beautifully
Oh, the one that
painted.
Connor made for me. Yeah.
It's painted beautifully.
He did an amazing job. I really love that Grail to death. And yeah, no, I'll tell you all about that thing later. But
Let's hear your gear breakdown.
So, in the terms of my gear breakdown, a lot of it is the same, and some of it is new, specifically this, which I made a whole video on, but in case you didn't see it, we'll talk about it later. It'll be saved for last. But I still have my Cooper Sportswear jacket, my vintage Cooper, which, to be quite honest, this is just one of my favorite jackets that I own, and for not being 100% accurate to Last Crusade, it just has so many Last Crusade qualities.
What is
that
it
I love.
primarily
So-
inspired by then?
Cooper had this long list of things, not excuses, but like, they said that they used the original Raiders pattern to make this jacket, but that doesn't make any sense because there are a lot of qualities of Temple of Doom in this. And then there's snaps, which are very indicative of Last Crusade.
Yeah,
And
I have my Crusade jacket that I have at home that I brought primarily as a Crusade jacket. I think you told me when you saw it the first time that it had a little bit of Temple to it.
It
as
did.
well. Because I think not this. I think the way it hangs.
The way it
hangs.
Yeah, has very Temple qualities to it. This is somewhat shorter in the body, which is very indicative of Last Crusade, but it's got Raiders-sized pockets, but none of the beautiful scalloping that you see there. How dull this pocket is compared to these. But it has a lot of tendencies of the other films, which makes it a nice amalgamation jacket. It makes it a wonderful starter jacket for anybody getting in the game, because this was my first real upgraded indie jacket in about 2020 when I really started diving deep. But aside from that, I've also got a What Price Glory shirt. It's just good for all the films, really, except for 5, because
There's also too many sleeves for Temple.
too many sleeves. One too many sleeves for Temple. But Kirk Brockman can tell you all about that.
I'm gonna let Kirk be the Temple one. I'm not gonna touch the Temple area, especially if I have to have no sleeve, because
it's hard to compete.
there's Kirk, and then there's my one people learn.
And then there's the rest of us. Kirk is hard to compete with in the terms of being a doomer. Strap is also What Price Glory. I think it's an older model because, I mean, the buckles kind of look the same, but mine is definitely aged.
Mm-hmm.
And yours has the knurling on the side, which mine does not. It's a very bare strap, which is why I use it more for Last Crusade and whatnot. Bag is an original Mark 7. Tie is an Amazon find, and it's cotton because, as I've explained before in some of my other gear breakdowns, I see a lot of Last Crusade indies with the poly ties, the poly nylon ties, and it just doesn't look right. It sticks out too much.
I'm looking for one like that. Otherwise, that's why I haven't done the whole "let's go see Dad." As I refer to that as that's what I'm seeing Dad, so I have to wear the tie.
Yeah,
That's how I see it.
It's just one of my
But
favorite.
then if you look at Dial of Destiny, he's wearing a tie, and I think it's because he's seeing a family, like a family.
I gotta look good.
Godfather.
Yeah,
I gotta make an impression. I'm an adult.
Holster is, I think it's Spade Archer leather. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Spade Archer leather. Wonderful Spade Archer from Trent Ryan. The pistol inside of it is a Denex, but you saw that earlier. Do love the Denex. It's not really accurate to Last Crusade. It's more accurate to Crystal Skull, but still a wonderful, wonderful piece. My belts. One is just a standard web belt that I found at a surplus store, but it has a nice color to it, and kind of has the same color to the Dial of Destiny belts that we've been seeing like at D23, which you got to see in person.
I did.
And I'm insanely jealous of to this day.
I think still my favorite detail on that mannequin with the costume was the bullet hole, which Trent recreated on his jacket, and I almost bought. Don't have money, Trent. But like they had that and the stitching on it, and I was like, oh, that's great. I like how it's that nod to that history to it. And I'm hoping that we get not like lingering shots on it in the film, but if
a nice little
moment of it. Yeah, because that movie's gonna be nostalgia fest.
Oh yeah. The belt is a nice Amazon find and it has some nice Raiders qualities to it, especially the buckle itself is that nice round Raiders that I really love. Pants are Croft and Borrow that just have a nice brown tinge to them. I've always loved these pants and I've used them in my indie cosplay since about 2014.
They look very comfy.
They're very comfortable because they're very baggy and very loose, which I like in a sort of Last Crusade look is very baggy officer pants.
Yeah.
And then the boots again are my Wested Adventure boots, which if any of you have been curious about getting your hands on them, do so. The leather is very stiff and so it takes a while to break in, and I recommend wearing them for at least a month. But once you've gotten them broken in and you've replaced the shoelaces, because the ones that come standard are not your friend, replace them with round shoelaces. That's what I say, that's what Trent Ryan says, and it works, and it looks nice. These boots are probably some of the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. My whip is my Joe Strain, my beautiful, beautiful Joe Strain with the replica crease and corral. I have a hard time not saying crease and corral because Joey Peter Green says that whenever he says crease and corral, he says crease and corral, and so all of us kind of say it in nice reference to him. One of the best indie cosplayers that really got me serious about my cosplay game. Replica crease and corral whip holder from Trent Ryan. Choppers. And then, so for those of you who, for those of you who have not seen the last video I put up, this is not my Tognerelli. It is a 100% genuine article, Herbert Johnson Last Crusade, which I bought from Kyle Nibbling of Penitent Man Leather, because he usually sells some gear on the indie pages, and he was selling this and had been trying to sell it since July, and I just messaged him and said, hey, you still selling this? And he was like, yeah. So we agreed on a price, but yeah, this Herbert Johnson is made of 100% rabbit felt. It is one of the most beautiful hats that I have ever had the chance to inspect and to hold. It's very soft and buttery.
It's incredibly soft. When I came over and you were showing it off to me, I was like, oh, cool. And you handed it to me. So light and soft, but also just, it's got this great shape to it, which is what we're going to try to emulate a little bit today.
Yes, a little bit later we are going to be just loosening the pinch a little bit with his screen cap Last Crusade, because it's a little bit more like a Raiders, and slightly curling the brim, because with the Last Crusade,
it's a cowboy curl.
It has very infamous cowboy curl.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm standing like this whole time. Whenever I have a holster, I always go to because of it's all of my history as a gunfighter.
Oh yeah.
For like Western recreation, my hands go here. I know it should be more like this.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
But my hand keeps going here.
You know, I do the same thing. It's an easy place to rest your hand. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if we rambled a little bit, but it's been a while since I actually had somebody else to make a video with, and it's nice to have somebody to bounce off of.
And whenever we do talk, we do bounce off and ramble about films, whether it be indie, primarily indie. We'll talk about a lot.
Yeah. But thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you all next one. Bye, everybody.